Hello everyone, my name is Ekaterina and today I would like to talk how I became a software engineer without any experience and without a completed degree in information technology. Before we start, subscribe to my channel to see more useful content and hit the bell button not to miss the new videos when they're released. There are three main things that I'd like to cover in that video. First is my background and career journey. Second is what you need to become a software engineer. And third are the useful resources that I found very nice during my preparation to be a software engineer. Let's talk a bit about my background. I studied at the University of Business Administration and graduated in December 2019. In parallel, I was studying economics part-time and graduated from there in 2021. Before and after graduation in 2019, I was trying to find a job on the entry level in the marketing field. But even with few foreign languages, previous internship experience, I was still struggling to passing that recruiter screening. And there were two reasons I didn't succeed. First, there were not that many open positions in marketing, and second is that there were even less positions for the entry-level employees. Moreover, marketing experience was pretty disappointing for me because it taught me a theory and didn't give me any hands-on practical experience that I could apply in my job. And after graduation, I understood that I don't see myself in marketing anymore. I decided that I want to switch my major to computer science because during the job search I saw a lot of open positions in computer science. But that meant that I would have to study a new profession from zero because I had no idea about this field at all. I decided to give it a chance. I wanted to focus on quality in my studies in order to become a high-level software engineer. So I decided to get into school and try to receive a scholarship. My first choice was making double degree in Germany, and I even learned German to get in. And my second choice was Finland. Two of those countries I selected because there I could start my studies completely from zero, and that was a perfect opportunity for me. Why didn't I want to study coding on my own? The answer is easy. I had absolutely zero knowledge in computer science. I had no study plan and no idea what I actually need to learn in order to become an engineer. So I thought that university could give me a good study plan where I know what I need to learn in order to become a software engineer. I could also do short-term courses, but I think it wasn't the best idea because short-term courses are usually good in addition to the whole degree. Courses cannot give you a big picture, so I decided to spend 4 more years for another degree in computer science. I got accepted to both programs in Germany and Finland with 100% scholarships. But in 2020, COVID happened. Germany has closed the embassies and there was no chance that I could get a study visa. Since my opportunity in Germany was a practical degree, so-called Ausbildung, I had to be on spot in Germany and I couldn't study remotely. So my study place was expired. And I started studying in Finland remotely. With finished degree, I got my tuition fee covered, but the living expenses were on my own. Therefore, I needed to have a job in order to cover my living expenses. I started working for a telecommunication company where I met a lot of friends who were already software engineers at that time. One day, one of my colleagues mentioned Java school in the systems and said that that could be a nice opportunity for me to learn coding. I felt that I had nothing to lose, therefore I decided to give it a chance. Did a couple interviews in order to get in. I was accepted to 3-month program to study Java, Spring Boot, and make a web app as an end. Combining Java school, university, and a full-time job were a huge challenge. But I felt it was a necessary step to do because the university itself was not enough for me to get a job as a software engineer. So I took this coding camp as an opportunity and tried to accomplish it. For a first-year student with no previous background in IT, it was a huge challenge. But eventually I made it and I accomplished the school with ready working web app. Learning at Java school gave me a lot of experience and made me much stronger. It gave me perspectives that I need to learn much more and to fill more knowledge gaps in order to become a full-time software engineer. So I decided to take a risky step and to quit my job. I came to the point where I have to focus on my study in order to start my computer science career faster. At that time, I had quite little savings, so that step was very risky. After quitting my job, I got interested in mobile development and decided to focus on iOS development. I found Coursera courses with deep dive in Swift language and I applied for scholarship in order to get in. I was lucky and I received a full-time financial support. I learned how to build iOS apps, which was quite uncommon for many people. Most of the developers are web or full-stack engineers. There are quite a few mobile developers. And that was one thing that set me apart from other candidates in the job pool. Another cool thing about taking extracurricular iOS course was that I learned how to use real technologies like cloud databases and many others. And companies actually do require knowledge of those from the candidates. Frankly speaking, transition from one professional field to another is not only challenging, but also emotionally exhausting. During studies, I struggled to pick up concepts sometimes. I was surrounded by people who were much smarter than me, and that's why I felt like an idiot sometimes. Besides, I didn't have any coding experience before, and that didn't add confidence to my skills. But I told myself that being with smarter people than me is actually a good thing. And what do I have to lose if I'm already an idiot? If in the class I'm surrounded by people who are smarter than me, it means it's a perfect place for me to learn. So I would ask many questions that lots of people already knew answers for. And I would be the last person to leave the class, staying maybe with one or two people to catch up. I was lucky enough to get a free university degree and free coding courses. But not every courses are actually free. If you're looking for a study course to start coding from zero, I do recommend Hive Coding School. They require 0 programming languages, and the only skill they check from the candidates is a problem-solving skill. Hive has a good reputation, and they work with real projects from very successful companies like Zalando, Post, and others. Like any other aspiring software engineer, I obviously failed a lot and got rejected a lot of times. Sometimes you have to understand that failure is a part of the process, and it applies to any goals that you have in your mind. It took me about 2 years after starting my university degree to get a first internship position as a software engineer. I started working in an e-commerce company. It was a great milestone in my career. Looking backwards, it was a huge challenge to start at the beginning, since real projects are much bigger than the study projects, but I really wanted to stay in and worked very hard in order to get a full-time positions later on. After 6 months of internship and passing the competition with other interns, I got an offer from the company to stay as a full-time software engineer. At that time, my company was ready to keep only 40% of their interns, and I was one of them. And that's how I switched from being an intern to a junior software engineer. Companies take you much more seriously if you have lots of job offers. So in case you want a salary increase, switch to a better position, start applying to other companies. It's important to have backups. And sometimes, if the company is willing to keep you while you have other offers, they might offer you a counter offer and increase your salary or change the position. Another tip is try to attend mock interviews. Try to find other engineers in the area you're interested in. LinkedIn is a great place for that. For example, if you target tech companies in San Francisco, you can search for people interested in the same field and try to do mock interviews with them. It helps to find the gap in your knowledge and gain confidence. And you have much higher chances to end up in your dream company. I'd say it's also important to have either projects or other experience in your resume. You need to show that you can do either iOS or Android apps and have enough technical knowledge. Of course, I'm oversimplifying that right now, but in general, that's like that. To pass technical interviews, try to enroll in the bootcamps and make sure they specialize in the area you are interested in. Also, bootcamps need to teach you data structures, algorithms, and prepare you for the interviews. Talking about personal projects, I would say it's a must. When I was interviewed for the internship position, I got in because I had few projects in my portfolio. I had made a weather app on the iOS, and also I made an iOS app which was analog of Instagram at that time. And since I used cloud storage, it was a winning situation because the company where I'm in uses the same cloud storage for their projects. Final tip is continue to make applications and don't give up. There is a huge myth that IT people don't need to hunt for jobs and that the recruiters always just write them and offer endless jobs. Yes, it works for people who already have lots of experience and have something to offer for their employers. But for people on the entry level, it's important to be proactive. Now let's talk about the resources that I found really helpful. For doing mock interviews, I do recommend using interviewing.io and Pram websites. They can match you in a system with someone who has similar interests and needs. Pram Bootcamp is mainly free and interviewing.io is only partially free. So in case if you don't want to pay for doing mock interviews, you can search for interested people on LinkedIn. Another useful resource is appacademy.io. It's an online coding bootcamp. And finally, I would recommend using LeetCode in order to practice solving algorithms. Some people say that you need to solve hundreds of algorithms in order to have a job, but in general, I disagree with that statement. Getting a job involves lots of factors. Recruiters look at your tech knowledge and communication skills. So in case after solving hundreds of algorithms you still get rejected, maybe the problem is in something else. I think that would be it for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like my content, please get a like to this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell button not to miss the new videos. That would be it for today. Thank you and see you later. Bye!